Hey guys, Mike for SimRacing604, and today I'm going to be reviewing the last piece of the Moza Racing budget-friendly sim racing ecosystem. This is their CM Dash, and it completes the GS wheel. The only major shortcoming of the GS wheel was the lack of a screen, but is there a place for this? Does it only do what SimHub already does? Let's discuss. Alright, so as mentioned, this is the Moza Racing CM Dash, and it's designed basically to complement the Moza Racing wheels, including this GS wheel, which is easily among my favorite wheels. I love this thing, but the only major shortcoming I've found with it is that you can't tell what gear you're in, you can't tell your tire temperature, it has no screen here. So when you get into the likes of like a GSI wheel or something like that, which granted is a much higher price point, but it does have that screen on it so you can see all kinds of live telemetry to help you race, but this Moza Racing wheel doesn't have it. And this is the solution Moza came up with. This is their CM Dash. Now they already had a different dash, but this one comes in at a lower price point, coming in at around the $160 price point. 5-inch class screen, 16.7 million colors, 60 hertz refresh rate, 800 by 480 resolution, and compatible with most games. You can adjust the height, and it's designed to be nice and bright. So this thing should have all the bells and whistles, but as I mentioned, it's tough to sort of imagine where this fits into things when SimHub is a real thing. So SimHub, for those not aware, allows you to take dashboards, which are usually available for free, and broadcast onto a second screen or a tablet or a phone or something like that. And you can get all sorts of fancy dashboards that show you live telemetry, and it's a really great system trusted by countless sim racers. So where does this CM Dash fit in is what I'm curious about. So I'm going to make this a bit of a shorter review today, since literally and figuratively there's not much to unpack. So I'll talk a little bit about the screen on the bench, and then I'll get it on and I'll do a talk and drive, basically tell you my thoughts of it in action, and then I'll give my final thoughts. So let's move on to the unboxing. Okay, so here is my CM Dash. Just a small little 5-inch screen here. As you can see, it's got a bracket that attaches to the back, and then this little RJ cable. Hopefully you guys can see that, which will plug into my R9 wheelbase and deliver image to this screen. And it's got these, well, it's got the 2 screw holes here on the base that will attach it to the R9 wheelbase, and then these are threaded, and you can back them off, and then you can hopefully you guys can see that you can adjust the height of the CM Dash to a few different positions. I'm going to keep it at its highest for now, but yeah, that's the Moza Racing CM Dash. So again, not a lot to unpack here. It's just a quick look at this screen, all black except for the Moza writing across the top, and then they've etched it into the back as well. So understandably, it's plastic design. And yeah, just the single output here. So it looks to be a very clean design, and that could actually be one of the edges it holds over SimHub, which of course has you run another screen, often connected via USB or HDMI to your computer, and then run the SimHub software as well. So yeah, it looks like it's ready to go. I'm gonna get this screwed onto my wheelbase, and then we will do some driving. All right, so impressions of the CM Dash from Moza Racing. And first off, I should note that the installation was quick and clean. It was well under 5 minutes to get the Dash from inbox to installed, which is certainly a selling point. And that quick install combines with recognition in the Moza Pit House software to get you up and running with no fuss. And the Dash looks great in my opinion, and the line of sight with both my GS and CS wheels is perfect, but there is height adjustment if needed. And once you get up and running, you can choose among several dashes from the software, and I will circle back to this point shortly since it's one of my cons for the CM Dash. But first, I should tell you about another way to change the active dash. You can actually use the Moza app on your phone to change the dash and not have to worry about closing your game. Granted, it's not something you're likely to do often, but it is another thing I'd put in the features category for the CM Dash, since the app falls in the overall simple and clean motif of the CM Dash. But there is a major limitation with the CM. The available dashes are nice and generally clean and easy to read, but they do feel very limited compared to what can be found in SimHub. And SimHub is going to be the top competitor for Moza's CM Dash, so I was hoping the Moza dashes would blow my mind, but they fell more into the category of functional rather than mind-blowing. So I think a lot of people will weigh this product against what it would cost for a DIY solution or another pre-built solution that could run SimHub. DIY solutions can be had for around half the price of this CM, which can run SimHub at the same resolution, and pre-built all-in-one sim racing dashes can be found for closer to Moza's $159 price tag, but with unlimited dashes thanks to SimHub. So to me, this is a nice product that does everything you'd want it to, but it doesn't shine next to its competition, and the screen is bright with a good refresh rate, plus it seems to be well built and looks clean, but where it really shines is its simplicity. Out of the box and functional in game within 5 minutes without the need for an additional connection to your PC is about as clean an install as one could ever hope for. Okay guys, so time for my final thoughts on the Moza Racing CM Dash. I like it. It's clean, it's easy to install, the screen is nice and bright, the refresh rate is on point, the few preset dashboards we have look very good. But, and there's a big but here, when I reviewed the Butt Kicker Gamer Pro, I said in order for the Haptic Connect software to make sense, you have to pretend like SimHub doesn't exist. And unfortunately, I feel this way about the CM Dash. It's a great product, no doubt. It does exactly what it's supposed to do, but you sort of have to pretend that SimHub is not a thing. So coming in at around the $160 price point, you can certainly do your own DIY. You can get a screen off Amazon. You can get a screen holder off Etsy. And probably for around the $80 to $100 US price point, you can have your own just like this. That would be compatible with any wheelbase. So it's a little bit tough to justify. I think where this will find a market is with people not wanting to mess around with running their own cables, running another piece of software. Again, the Moza Racing CM Dash, it's clean, it's easy, it's just a simple RJ connection. It's 2 screws and then it goes on to your Moza Racing wheelbase. So it's got the simplicity working for it, and it definitely makes up for the shortcoming in missing a screen with the GS wheel. So great product for what it is. Am I going to go on record and say this is something that every sim racer needs? No. Like, again, I can't pretend that SimHub doesn't exist, and that's likely where many of the customers will end up going instead of with the CM Dash. But for what it is, if you like the looks of this, if you want to complete your Moza Racing ecosystem, it's a great product for what it is. But unfortunately, there's just more cost-effective options out there. So that's the truth of it. But thank you to Moza Racing for sending me this for review, and thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.